and then open up for questions from players.
First of all, obviously before we get to our team and our performance today, I just want to take the opportunity to just talk a little bit briefly about Mac Brown and the impact that he has had not only on our university, but in particular the head coaches. I'll speak for the head coaches in general, just because I haven't been one long here, but I was an assistant here for long enough to understand what impact he had not only on athletics at the University of Texas, not only on the university, but on the coaches here. He has been a role model for all of us here, and it's just, you can't put into words how much we all appreciate what he's done for all of our sports and what his commitment level has been to our university. And it saddens me, but also it's a day where you want to say how much that he means to all of us and how much we appreciate what he's been for our athletic program. To move on past that, I'm really proud of our team today, and it wasn't necessarily, and we talked about this before the game today, it wasn't about anything other than Texas getting better. And I thought we got better this week, and I thought we showed some maturity today as a basketball team. I think we knew that we had some advantages in the paint, had some advantages in transition against Sam Houston. You always want to give the other, your opponent credit. I thought they hung in there as long as they could, but our transition game was pretty good today. But really, most of all, I'm proud of our maturity because we kept focused on the things that were important and the things that we're trying to get better at. And I think that is an absolute sign of a team that's starting to understand what the ultimate goals are and not just what today was about.
Coach, do you know who the next football coach is going to be?
I do not. I don't want to know. That would be a good thing for me not to know.
Last night, Coach Elliott mentioned that Coach Brown has helped him with recruitment. Has Coach Brown aided you in recruitment as well?
Absolutely. I have never had a recruit that has been introduced to him or a parent that has not left wanting to come to the University of Texas. I mean, that's how big of an impact he has on everyone and how much of an impact he has on young people in general.
Coach, there were several times in the game when you actually had 2 point guards, Crystal, Celina, on at the same time. Are you looking for certain things that they can do together other than 1 point and 1 shooting guard? Or what was that?
Well, we've played them together some this year. A couple of times it's been out of necessity, foul-wise. Sometimes it's matchups. But today, I think at one point I put them both in because I think Empress had 2 fouls, but I don't have a problem playing those two together at all. I think they both can shoot the basketball. I think they both handle it well. I think sometimes you can't play them together because of matchups, but I don't feel uncomfortable playing them together at all.
Coach, you mentioned about the team being grounded and being focused. When you got a game that gets away from it, like it did today, how much do you have to mention that in every timeout or just in certain spots to pretty much, as long as it's time on the clock, keep playing?
Well, I think sometimes you do with an immature team, and that's where I thought we showed some maturity today. And I knew that before this game that we would be tested with that, because I knew what kind of game it was potentially going to be. And I think I said to someone that was visiting with us before the game that I thought it would be. In fact, we had some academic people that were our guest coaches today, and I was sort of telling them about what we'd been doing all week, and I told them I thought it would be a good test of our maturity. And I think what you saw today was Nneka, for example, in a timeout saying, hey, we need to refocus. We need to stay on task with what we're doing. I think there was a sign of leadership today that the older players set the tone, but they also kept talking to the younger players saying, okay, we need to focus on what we're trying to do, which again is a sign of maturity.
What is the biggest reason that this team is such a better shooting team than last year?
Well, I think players got in the gym. I mean, I think they're more comfortable with our system and what we're looking for, but I also think that they, in particular, Celina and Empress, some of the perimeter players, Brady, I think they made a commitment to being better shooters. You know, I think we didn't, I'm going to go back just for a second to the Tennessee game because a lot of people have asked me about it. I thought we played really, really well. And it's the one time this year that we really just didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter. And I think that game could have been different had we shot better, but I'm really pleased with how much better we are on the perimeter.
Along with the shooting, was there anything that you saw that you mentioned practice improving, that you saw really improving practice this week and then come out in the game today?
You know, we worked on some different things. I mean, you know, we worked a lot on help side and just things that we're working towards conference play. I mean, we know that your help has to be great in conference play. You know that you're guarding 5 people on the floor every possession that can score when we get into conference play. So I think we're just trying to turn our attention towards being more focused on every possession. We worked a lot on offense this week, and we'll continue to do that because I understand as a coach that that's an area that we need to get better at.
Nneka, you guys had 6 players in double figures for the first time this year. Is that just an indication of how much more mature, how much better? What is it about this team that seems like you're getting great offensive production all over the place?
I think Coach said it a while ago, but we worked a lot on offense this past couple of weeks and just looking in the offense and looking to where we need to get the ball and who needs to score at what time. And I feel like we're a lot more selfless this year, and it doesn't really matter who scores as long as we're winning.
Perfect example of that was last year. We would have never seen, just because of the personality of our team last year, you wouldn't have seen Nneka passing it to Chaz 1 foot from the basket just because she didn't really care whether she scored or not. I mean, that's what teamwork is all about. Perfect example.
Celina, are you more offense-minded this year? Obviously, the obvious answer is yes, but what led to that?
I think I was just trying to be more aggressive. Sorry. I'm just trying to be more aggressive as to what our team needs and just trying to put myself in the best position to help out our team in any way. So if that means being more aggressive and looking for my shot more, then that's what I'm just trying to do.
You look a lot more relaxed too. Could you describe you a year ago, today, and now as far as your self-confidence, I guess?
I think it's just comes with patience and just like knowing the offense and being more comfortable in it and knowing where the ball needs to go and where the shots open opportunities are. And so I think from last year to this year, it's just like knowing where everybody needs to be at and just being more comfortable. And in practice, it starts in practice, and I feel like that definitely relates over to the game.
Nneka, Celina, the talk is about offense, but today you all were very aggressive on defense on both ends of the floor, rebounding and getting into the passing lanes. What's been the emphasis in practice to get you all to the point to where today wasn't just it also ran, but preparing you for preparing the team for conference play?
I think just I know it starts on defense, and the boys in practice really push you, so playing against them, it's always hard and tough in practice, and so in the games, it's a little bit easier. I mean, right now, because we're playing teams that aren't as good like today, but in the conference play, I think it's going to really pick up, and I think that as long as you stay tough on defense, it'll really change the way of the game. So.
Nneka?
Not that they're it's a good team, but.
Nneka, a lot was said about last year's freshman team being put into the fire under really tough circumstances. There's one right there. Can you talk about the sophomore team this year and the jump that they've made from last year to this year?
I think that it's just maturity. Coming in as freshmen and being able to play such significant minutes in the Big 12 period forced them to grow up and forced them to grow up early. So I feel like this year they've embodied the role that they had to take last year, and they're growing with it. And now that they know what Coach wants and expects, they're able to relay that information onto the freshman class. And I mean, I know they're young, but the time is now, and they have to figure out how to lead and continue to grow.
Coach, same question, the sophomore class, did you expect them to be as productive this year quick turnaround from last year where there were some struggles, and now that they look comfortable. Emphasis, Celina especially.
Mhm. I absolutely did. I think, as Nneka put it, the experience that they had, they didn't understand how valuable that was because they were in it, and all they could think about is how hard it was, and and what a grind it was. But I mean, as a coach, you know that in a league like the Big 12, you don't typically start 3 freshmen, and I knew that they would come back. I mean, even if you have a freshman that doesn't play significant minutes, they still are completely different people their sophomore year. They know what to expect every day on the court and off, and their comfort is so different. So to have them gather all of those minutes last year, and I mean, some of those minutes were productive. It's not like they didn't do anything. So now they feel very comfortable and confident, and they know what to expect every day. Nothing surprises them. Every day when you're a freshman, it's a surprise. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just every day you walk in, you don't know what to expect, you don't know what's going on in school, and then the hardest part for them is that it changes all the time. Just the second they think that they're getting comfortable, all of a sudden it's something different that you're doing. You're not lifting anymore. Now you're running. Now it's preseason. Now it's and now it's conference, and they never had this ability to gain any comfort. And I'm sure that they would tell you that that's the difference now, is that they feel comfortable.
Did it warm your heart to see Nneka out there? It looked like she got a pretty big ovation just for walking on the court, and then she makes this great bounce pass.
Obviously Nneka has a long way to go. She's not been going through the reps that the other players have been going through, and practice does matter, and understanding what's ahead of her. But I am excited that she's had the opportunity to get on the court now, and obviously, she adds a different dimension. I mean, I do think that everybody can see that we have some struggles at that position when Nneka isn't in, and I think as we go along, I mean, I'm not talking about tomorrow, I'm saying maybe a month from now, she could add a different dimension at that position and give Nneka some breathing room to be able to play a little freer, and I think that would be a tremendous thing for our team. So yes, I'm excited that she's back.